And joining me now is Michael Ignatieff, author and former leader of the Liberal Party of Canada. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Oh, hi, nice to be here.
All right, so first I want to get your reaction when you heard about the attack on Salman Rushdie.
You know, I've known Salman since 1984, so he's a friend. I felt a personal reaction of sorrow and dismay, and also anger. I just think fanaticism is a danger to free expression everywhere. It's a danger to every writer, every free thinker, and we have to stand against it everywhere it raises its head.
And you were there when Salman Rushdie actually went into hiding. So why do you think it's still a lingering issue all of these decades later?
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, this person who's accused of the crime wasn't even born when the fatwa was pronounced in 1989. And the tragedy here is that a man who thought he had regained his life, that is, Salman thought he was living in freedom, he was able to, go anywhere, live his life, go on the subway, is suddenly discovering, now that he's recovered, thank God, that he's going to have to live the rest of his life in police protection. I just think this is an example of the ways in which a young person, adrift possibly in American society, thought his life had purpose if he executed a religious warrant for an execution. And that's what's dangerous going forward, that there'll be other people who think their meaningless lives will suddenly have meaning if they can execute the same warrant laid down 30 more years ago.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to shift the focus back on Salman, which is, as you mentioned, we're just glad that he's okay and hopefully he will recover and get out of hospital soon. But let's talk about the impact that he has had on the world with his writing.
Well, it's been enormous. He's a brilliant, savage, mordant, funny artist of the word. And what we have to defend here is the right of an artist of the word to use words to raise any subject. Your lead up to this thing said, many Muslims regard this as blasphemy. Well, the difficulty I think we've got in a secular society is there's just no concept called blasphemy. Every single doctrine, every single belief, including my own, especially my own, should be subject to criticism, ribaldry, comedy, good jokes, bad jokes. That's how freedom thrives. And so we have to stand, I think, against the very idea of blasphemy. I respect, people who live their faith. I respect them as individuals. But I'm not under an obligation to respect their faith, whether they're Christian, Jewish, Muslim, or liberal seculars. Mm-hmm. I'm not required to respect a faith. I'm required to respect persons, and I do, whatever their faith. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the distinction we need to hold. There's no such thing as blasphemy. Every belief needs to be questioned, and that's what he's fought, and that's what he stood for, and that's why he's paid the price he's paid. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Once again, Michael Ignatieff, author and former leader of the Liberal Party of Canada. Have a great day.